Maurice Kamto will come and fumble. Like, you did not know that in 2018, if you do not participate in elections and you don't have members in the parliament, you cannot run for president. Like, he did not know that.
I mean, he's a professor of law, man.
He's a
He
professor of
should have
law. I
known.
think he's a I don't know
He's
if
a
it's a
constitutional,
jury or it's a
yeah,
constitutional lawyer. Can you imagine
expert.
that?
He should know. He should have. He should know
He should
better.
know.
He should have
Yeah.
planned for this months ahead. Atanganji did not have to remind him, because it came across as if a minister of territorial administration reminded Kamto that, hey, bro, understand say the way to make him yes, no work. Because you know that is how it came across. Because
That it came across. And then Atangaji was right once again, as he has always been. As he's always been. Like and then first of all, you just resigning from your party that you started and endorsing another party, standing for that. You endorse what Atangaji said. Like, where are you, my man? Like, and then this is somebody who's an intellectual of the highest level. This is somebody who's supposed to know the constitution to his fingertips. This is somebody who defended Cameroon at an international court.
Yeah.
You know,
with the Bakassi
Peninsula. By all estimation, these are the brains in Cameroon's external relations and Cameroon's.
I am told, I heard that he was part of the commission that wrote the last constitution that developed and wrote the last constitution. He was part of that committee. You would expect that he would know better. And to fumble like this at the dying minute.
At the end. And then like sometimes I'm like, is there something wrong with us? Like, I don't know. Because you begin to ask the questions like, there's really something wrong with the way we think. Because how is somebody who's so versed, who's part of the people who revised the constitution, made it what it is, will fumble at this kind of level? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you explain that to a rational person. And
it's baffling. It's baffling to me. And I remember us putting up a post about that, and somebody wrote,
and then you get the questions
below and asked questions I couldn't fathom. And then 2 days after, you hear that he's moved to MANIDEM. I'm like,
MANIDEM.
Did this guy go and follow the news to realize that what we said in our Facebook page was right. And that what Atangaji had insinuated was actually correct, right?
Well,
like there's no coming back to say, oh, I read this and I read it all wrong.
Social media.
There's no coming back for that.
Yeah, it's social media.
So just getting to come to a little bit. 83, submitted their applications to run for president. 13 got approved, 70 got rejected. Out of that 70, again, you part of the process is, if you're not satisfied with the results from Elections Cameroon, of course you could file an appeal or a petition with the Constitutional Council. So for the past day or two, people have filed in their petitions to the Constitutional Council. They had about 35 petitions filed. So these are people who are either contesting a decision about, not about something. The deliberations are just ongoing, so it's not very clear what these petitions are out for. But one of the reasons why our very good friend Professor Maurice Kamto was rejected, the only reason was, you want to explain what that reason was?
It was, and I'll say it in French because it sounds good in English. Pluralité d'investiture. Clarity. So in English, it simply means more than one candidate has submitted for a particular party. So I think him and Professor Baibek, who is a doctor, well-known doctor, I don't know what kind of medicine he practices, of the UPS. They were rejected on the same grounds. So more than one, I think a party has to endorse one candidate. By the time a party submits more than one candidate, you're automatically rejected. And you think again that Professor Kamto is supposed to know that. Professor Bahebek is supposed to know that. Like, what is going on? These people are just playing the politics again that we've known the CPDM to play. And so on that grounds, he was rejected. He's appealing, and I don't know. I read the appeal. Maybe my French is not good. Just to backtrack a little bit. So according to MANIDEM, we're focusing on Maurice Kamto. There are two people who have submitted candidate. Anicet Ekane, who was supposed to be the leader of MANIDEM, is the one who endorsed Maurice Kamto to take his place.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another person in MANIDEM, Dieudonné, which apparently has a lot of following in the party and is also contesting for that party. So he just submitted for MANIDEM. So right now there was Maurice Kamto and there is Dieudonné. Okay, so and I saw the video of, and he said it came back that, oh, this is a CPDM, blah 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 blah. I'm like, are we dumb? This doesn't look to me like an election
Problem.
procedural mishap
Yeah.
or the CPDM. This is
It
a
is
MANIDEM
internal party
issue.
politics.
This is an
Right.
internal MANIDEM issue, and a lot of smart people to fall for this. Oh, CPDM, and they just go with the thing. And it's, for me, it's becoming so boring now. Oh, it's CPDM my channel, but this guy has been in the party for a long time. Yebga has been in the party for a long time, and he said has been in the party for a long time. And then suddenly two candidates are submitting. And then you say CPDM? Like, who's playing who here? So that's just the background, and it's sad. I don't know. He's appealed. I don't know if you had a chance to read the appeal letter. I did. I did not send it to you, but I should have. I read the whole appeal letter. He sent two. There wasn't any mention of Dieudonné. And you know how you read a letter and you get to the conclusion and you're like, okay, what is your main point? Hopefully at the end of the conclusion, you say, okay, this is main point that is standing. He wrote almost, and he's reading two letters. One was like, if I'm just being conservative, one was like 15 pages, and then the other one, the follow-up was like 8 pages. And then you read it in French. I'm not perfect in French, but then you should be able to read the conclusion and say, okay, I understand this person's argument. I may not agree with them, but I understand that this is their main argument. I couldn't. I came out reading that. I'm like, I don't understand what the main argument of Professor Maurice Kamto is. How are you writing a letter to the electoral committee and not once did you mention the other person who submitted his document for your party, which is the main reason that the electoral committee has advanced as the reason for the rejection of your party?
Right.
It was baffling.
It is great. It is.
Yeah, I should have sent you that.
And then I think what we should what we need to kind of think about is, again, you know, when you do things hastily and in the nick of time, it is obvious that things like this happen.
Obvious.
How do you? I mean, because again, people take deals and negotiations for granted. You think you can just meet someone today and you meet a leader of a political party, political party which has a structure. And you think you can just strike a deal with the head of the political party and that's it? No, you have someone else who was interested in being president.
Yeah.
Was he consulted? Was the party consulted? The party itself, was the party consulted? Or was it just two individuals, one head of the party bringing in a good friend and saying, okay, you are going to run for on our behalf, we are going to submit?
It sounds like.
What was that process like? And even when at Tanganji, Paul was saying, man, you left MRC. You left MRC 2 days ago. Now you're running for MANIDEM. How did that? When did you resign here? When did you become a member here? Did you, you know, these are legitimate questions to ask. And I remember our last show, I said something which came through. I said clearly he was not going to be approved. I made that point.
I understand. Yeah.
It was very
and we were being hopeful that they're gonna elect him. No, but that was kind of like a prophecy.
There are lots of questions to ask. And again, it's like you read the letter and there's nowhere within.
I read and I'm hoping
this answers this question, this answers that question, this solves this problem. There was nothing there. So
maybe my French is not good, but I came through the letter. I'm like, I was going to. I need to see the name Yebga Dieudonné. I need to see something that's talking about the leadership within the MANIDEM party. I didn't. I honestly did not. I don't know. I don't know what the outcome. And then if he doesn't meet the criteria of election, when they deny it, you hear Cameroonians start making noise up and down. Like, really, what's going on? Like, we don't know what is so obvious. Now, it seems like something that is so obvious. If you don't do A, you should not get B. But people will start making noise again. I'm like,
I think he's found himself in a bad place. I think he knows it. He's not making it. I remember the last time how much noise he made.
He did.
He's not making any noises. He's not calling for press conferences because this situation.
He has to answer.
he can't be blamed. I mean, he should blame himself for this. That's why I don't see any. I've looked for press conferences after this. There's nothing.
Right. There's nothing
from Maurice Kamto. There's no public conversation. He's not having public conversation about the situation because the situation is very complicated, and I think he knows it. He knows it. The situation in MANIDEM is very complicated. It's not his party.
It's not
his party, so it's hard for him to speak,
right?
Or to challenge much. It's not your party.
It's not your party. You don't know the voters. You don't even know whether the ideas of that party ties with MRC's vision of the country. You don't even know the groundwork, the people who have been working in and out, you know. So like you said, it's really like one person who's the leader of the party just replaced, let's say, call his body. Come on. I mean, we saw this happen in the US. Like they just installed Kamala Harris. No democratic process, not even discussion within the party. And then you saw the result. We literally just saw it happen in the US. Like, it's the same thing here. And then come October, we're gonna be crying, oh, the CPD has been there for 82 years. I mean, you guys, the position
with well-educated men who call themselves politicians and seem to know nothing about the politics itself. It baffles me. They've been in politics for decades, for decades, 30+ years. Yet they operate as novice. They operate like someone who just got into politics. I wouldn't make that kind of mistake. I'm not a politician, but it would be hard for me to not kind of foresee the challenges that I would face in an elections that is coming up in a couple of months, knowing the rules clearly. I don't have representation in the National Assembly. I don't run or manage a municipality. I am not going to be a candidate.
Yeah,
I should have made a decision long time ago. A house, found a party that I could be part of, and that I could take a few months to relate and understand the people and get the people to know me enough that everyone in that party would allow me to run on their behalf.
Right.
He did not do that.
He didn't do that.
He did not.
Is it enough to a month that he's reached? I don't know. I don't think
it's not up to a month.
Yeah. So it's
not up to a month.
Yeah.
That is
and then we're supposed to be surprised when they lose the election. Like, come on now. This is so obvious. Even a class 3 primary school child should be able to figure that out. You cannot switch in the middle. First of all, you have been in that party for how long? You've raised money on Emma.
Ghana, what do you think happens when, again, I say when, Maurice Kamto's petition at the Constitutional Council is rejected?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. You're prophesying. You know, for the sake of democracy and for the sake and love for Cameroon, I will really hope that he can be able to meet these conditions and run as an opposition.
Yes.
Because right now he's the most prominent one. Right. So for the sake of giving people another option and trying to show people another path of leading the country, I really, really hope that he'll be able to appeal, meet the conditions, and stand in for the presidency. Because it'll be very unfortunate. It'll be really shameful that he's not, because who's the other opposition? Come on, like literally, there's nobody. You can't be talking about Joshua Osi. The CBN has lost its count. There's no spirit, or Cabral Libi, or Professor Bayabek, like
Issa Chiroma.
Issa Chiroma, like, come on now. So I know you prophesied and it was 100% true, but I like to remain optimistic that I hope he can meet the Constitutional Council's request.
There is definitely a clear distinction between hope and reality.
Yeah.
The reality on the ground tells me otherwise. I hope that his appeal is reviewed and approved, and that he be added to the list. I do hope that. But when I look at the realities on the ground, I fear that hope would remain a hope, and it's never going to become a reality.
it's basically a decision between your head and your heart. My
Yes.
heart is telling me that, yeah, I think this is good for Cameroonians to
Yeah.
have a good, strong
Right.
opposition.
Right.
But my rational brain is like,
Mm-hmm.
come on now. There's a lot for you to overcome in this
Yeah.
short period of time. There's a lot for you to prove to the Constitutional Council that you're a legitimate member of
Mm-hmm.
this new party that you
Mm-hmm.
just joined, literally, like not after a
Do
month.
this.
You know,
Yeah. It's hard.
like I
It's hard.
mean that's where my head is, but my
Mm-hmm.
heart is like,
And
we
again,
deserve to have.
another reason why I have hope, or another reason why I might make the argument for him to be added to the list of 13,
Mhm.
is because to me, the elections would only get the level of credibility that it is expected to
Right.
get if a serious candidate like Maurice Kamto
Mhm.
is running.
Yeah.
Without Maurice Kamto,
Yeah.
the credibility of the elections would be,
Yeah. Yeah.
it would have
If,
little or no credibility
yeah.
to a larger extent.
Mhm.
But if Maurice Kamto is running, then it presents at least a certain level of opposition, a certain level of
Right.
challenge
Right.
to the ruling
Yeah.
party. Now I could take this election a little seriously. If
Yeah.
Kamto is not
Exactly.
running, there's no point even following the elections. Bia wins
Right.
automatic,
Bia wins clear. I mean,
right?
even come to runs, like the chance
I mean,
of
there's
Bia
a
winning
challenge. He
is still
presents
very
at least
high.
a level of challenge. He presents
Right.
at least, last time he got a 14%. At
Yeah.
least that
Which
is
is something.
something,
Yeah.
right? It presents at least a certain level of challenge to the ruling party.
Mhm.
It gives the
Exactly.
ruling party um um the kick to do a little bit more when they
Right.
know that, okay, there at least is a viable opposition running against
Mhm.
us. They could do a little
Yeah.
bit more. If there is no Maurice Kamto on the list of candidates running for the elections,
Yeah.
it defeats the purpose of that in my opinion.
It does, yeah, it does.
It defeats
But
the
I
purpose
mean,
of
like
that
we said, this is really us being hopeful. Like even they come tomorrow and the rejection why, I think we will all see it. I think we won't argue with it. I mean, we'll be disappointed, but you can see the reason why they rejected him.
yeah.
And you will be able to understand and move on. And it's sad that will be stuck with someone who is 92 years old, who has been in power since 1982. But at the end of the day, Cameroonians really deserve President Pobia,
Good,
because the way we operate,